All right, so when it comes to rotation, we need rotation in a lot of places. Where most people think that they need the most rotation is through their mid-back or thoracic spine. That is true. You equally need to have rotation through your hips though. You don't want to get it all through your thoracic spine and not any through the hips. So in order to check that, I like to have the person lying on their stomach, and then I will go into what's called external rotation and just see, does the ball in the socket of that hip joint have the ability to just purely spin, all right? When I bring him up and I rotate him back, see how his whole pelvis wants to raise up. That's an indication that that ball can't spin as well as it should be able to. That's going into external rotation. And then going into internal rotation, I want to see if I put my hand on the front of that hip, if that hip is able to stay relatively up towards the ceiling as I rotate him in. And it does kind of translate down into my finger there. Before I filmed this video, I looked at the other side though. And this side, you can probably even see how that drops down into my finger there. So again, I want to improve the ability for that hip to purely spin. So what I can do here is I can block that hip from coming back as I move into external rotation there, and then hold here. Thomas, don't let me push you, right there. So now I am working on external rotation for the ability for that hip to stay relatively forward as he rotates, and let it go. And I would stay here for a little while and then reassess and see, does it have the ability to spin better, because then we want that to then translate into his swing so that he can get a pure rotation and doesn't have to do a lot of extra movements through his pelvis, because that can lead to swaying, that can lead to loss of posture, that can lead to early extension, all kinds of things that you don't necessarily want from an efficiency standpoint in your swing.